Welcome to the Charron Zone. I'm Tim Charron. I am a booking agent, an actor, and a singer-songwriter recording artist. And I'm going to tell you a little story about my day and point out why you might not be booking the kind of gigs that you want to be booking. The bigger gigs, the better paying gigs, the gigs with built-in crowds, the gigs that the venues treat you well, the gigs with big stages, the gigs with big lights, the gigs with big sound systems. So here's my story. So, like I said, I'm an actor. I work as a stand-in actor on the show 911 Nashville. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. And yesterday and today, I woke up at 4:45 in the morning to be on set by 6:15 a.m. And then I'm there, working for about 12 hours. So I'm in the middle of booking a bunch of tour dates, a bunch of, concerts. So I've been really busy doing that. And so I finally get out of work today. I get back to my place and there's a gig that I've already sent an invoice to that I'm doing, and it's coming up soon. And it's a great gig. I'm very happy to get it. It's at a great place. It pays well. It's much better on a much higher level than playing at a bar down the street. So I already sent in paperwork. So to answer the question, a big boring part of the music business is the business side of it. And let me put it this way, the better you are at doing the business side of the music business, the better your music business is going to run. So, in other words, if you can do the boring, mundane stuff, the paperwork, stuff like that, the logistics, the planning, then you can get bigger and better gigs. And it might be a huge limiting factor and reason why you're not getting bigger and better gigs. So I had to do a paperwork, an invoice / contract, send that to them. Ask yourself right now, do you have a contract for your shows? Drop a comment, let me know, and be honest, I didn't have a contract for a long time when I was booking myself in my, music career. And then when I did finally get a contract, the first contract that I used, I got one of my first festivals that I got to perform at with my band. And it was a big deal. And they said, do you want to send me your contract or do you want me to send ours? I didn't have one, so I said, let's just use yours. So they sent me theirs. I just took that and kind of copied it and tweaked it to make it my own. And that's the contract that I used for years and years. So that's a massive tip. If you think this stuff is boring, then you need to stop listening to this or watching this and really think about, do you want to be an average bar band? And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, because I think that being in an average bar band, if you have another main career with your life or anything, or if that's your goal, that's super awesome, because not many people get to do that, you know? What percentage of people in this world can even play an instrument, let alone go and play in a band at a bar down the street, you know, with their friends and have a great time and have a drink or two, you know what I mean? Like that's an amazing thing to be able to do, number one. And we should all be thankful for that us as musicians can do that. But if you want to take your music and your music business, because your band or you as a solo artist, you're a business, right? You're going out. If you're going out and you want to get paid to play, that's a business. That is a business. So ask yourself, you know, am I really committed to taking this to the next step and the next step and the next step? Believe me, getting your ducks in a row and being organized, and I'm the least organized person in the world. So it's a real struggle for me. I mean, I have ADHD, whatever you want to call it. It's a real struggle for me. But over the years, I understand that for me, it's life and death. All I ever wanted to do was be a musician, you know, in my life and build a music career. So this is just something that I had to get good at. So I implore you to get good at it. So I'll just finish the story really quick. So I do the contract, the invoice, all that fun stuff. You need a contract and you need an invoice. Drop me a comment if you want me to do a detailed video on what my invoices look like and what my contracts look like. And I could also do one-on-one coaching and set up a contract for you and an invoice that you can use over and over and over. I use the same one I have it on Google Docs, and I just go in there and I just change the venue and I change the price and the dates. And so it's easy. You need 2 documents. But this is what happened. They were asking for insurance. So I had to go through, this is another thing. I have had acts in my agency cry and whine and complain that they have to get insurance, entertainment insurance. Welcome to the big leagues, boys and girls. Now, if you're making $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $6,000 for a gig, and you're crying about paying for insurance for that event, which would cost about $65, you're an idiot. You're shooting yourself in the foot. And the more resistance you put up to the booking agent or the venue, the more they're going to red flag you and never want to work with you. That's the whole point of this video, is that the festivals, the city events, the bigger, better gigs are going to want certain paperwork. They're going to want an invoice and or a contract. They're going to, a lot of them, I used to carry full-time insurance, entertainment insurance for me and my band because I was playing so many gigs that require you to have insurance. Otherwise, they will not book you. So if you cry and whine about getting insurance to a venue, they're just going to move on to the next person that knows how to run their business, and they're just going to hire those bands that either have insurance or know how to just go online. It takes 10 minutes, boom. So I get home after a 12-hour day, being up at 4:45 a.m., and they're asking for another bit of paperwork. And at first I'm frustrated. I'm like, oh geez. And I just did it. I went over it, and it was relatively complicated. Took me probably 45 minutes, and I'm really tired. I have auditions that I have to do. But I did it. I focused. I went online. I followed the venue's instructions as to exactly what they wanted and what they needed, the documentation that they needed from me. And I went and I did it. And I did not show my exasperation to the venue because it just makes me look bad. It makes me look bad if I even complain a little bit about having to do this paperwork that is going to get me great gigs. And on the flip side, this is the positive part of this. When you are a professional and you get the contracts out, you get the invoices out, you get the certificate of insurance, COI. If somebody asks you for a COI, that means certificate of insurance. If you get that out to them without complaining and just be happy about the fact that you're, getting business as a musician, that establishes you as a professional with that venue or buyer or whatever it is, and that's going to establish a great relationship. So they're going to want to have you back. If they're like, oh, this girl or guy gets us all of our paperwork back immediately or as fast as they possibly can, and they're happy about it, me as the musician, me as the band leader, me as the booking agent for my own band and for other bands, and I'm happy and positive about it, and I just get it done, then they're going to want to work with you. They know that they can trust that you're not going to give them a hassle. They know they're going to have a pleasant time dealing with you. So what's going to happen? So the people that are booking me for this particular gig that I'm talking about have been booking me at amazing places for 6 years, I think. So it establishes a great relationship if they know that they can trust you to just, do what you need to do and make it a pleasant interaction every single time. So there you go. I mean, I know that it might be boring, but the payoff is amazing. I mean, I'm not going to throw out like any specific numbers, but I know that if I go down the street and play a solo gig, how much if you play solo gigs, how much money do you make? If you're in a band and you play full band shows and go down whatever the street to a bar, how much money do you make? These gigs, and I've got a bunch of them that I'm working on now, festivals and city events. These gigs pay pretty much on average 5 to 10 times what I would make if I were going and playing at a bar. 5 to 10 times as much. Is that worth having a contract and having an invoice and then sometimes paying? Think about how much you make, as a band going out and playing in a bar. So if you make $1,000, 5 to 10 times that, is that worth doing some extra paperwork and being pleasant and organized along the way? Yes, it is. I know it is. And, the festivals, we go play festivals, they provide sound, they provide lights, they provide, food, most of them provide like a dressing room or somewhere to get ready. They treat you really great. The sets are not as long, and there's built-in crowds. A lot of them are like 1,000 people. We've played festivals up to 23,000 people. So it's all very much worth having a contract that you can use over and over, and having an invoice that you can use over and over. And to wrap it all up, you're learning, even just doing what I did today, which was very different. It was a waiver that I needed to get from the state or something. But it's adding to my skills as a business person. Does that make sense? So if I know how to draw up a contract for these shows, that adds to my skills and my worth my value as a business person. Same thing with invoices. Same thing with knowing how to get insurance for your band or for you as a solo act or a duo, whatever it is. Knowing how to get the exemption for the thing from the state that I had to get today. All these things are adding. So instead of, just having this reaction like, oh, why should I have to do all this extra work? Number one, it's so that you can keep getting bigger and better gigs and relationships, but also you're adding skills for yourself that you can take on to your business for the rest of your life and to any other business that you are in, So I think that pretty much sums it up. So if you want to make way more money for each gig and play way better gigs for built-in crowds of hundreds, sometimes thousands, most of the time, thousands of people on bigger stages and be treated much better than at a bar, learn how to do these very, very simple business practices, and you will thank me for sure. So let me know if anybody wants to do one-on-one coaching. Make sure you contact me. And let me know if you have any questions about this. Let me know if you already do this stuff, and if you have anything else to add to this in the comments for people and myself. I'm literally trying to learn as much as I possibly can about these things every single day of my life. So if you have something to add, I would love it. And if you have something to add and it's really great, then maybe I'll have you on the podcast. So drop some comments. Let me know. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I am Tim Charron. Peace.